It is the 41st millennium.
Hello folks, in this guide we're going through all melee combos for every weapon. We'll see how practical those combos actually are, the consistency of delivering heavy hits per weapon, how many attacks each weapon takes to kill a single enemy, and lastly we will briefly dive into how they match up with one another. There will be future parts to this series. Part 2 is already being worked on, as I want to cover how each weapon matches against one another specifically, and whether the combos can have much effect in an actual melee. In the meantime, I will be releasing my third class guide, which is for the sniper. That will be out in a few days. As for now, let's not waste any more time. We have a guest appearance from the ever so helpful Crash Dummy Devis. Say hello, Devis. Anyway, there are 5 weapons in total, and we will cover them in the following order. Starting with the combat knife, we have the following combos. The light combo can be performed by pressing the attack button 4 times or just spamming it. This combo has no heavy attacks and will not break guard. Heavy swing can be performed by holding the attack button down. This is solely a heavy attack and will break guard. Heavy combo is a follow-up to this. It can be performed by holding for a heavy swing and then following up with a press. Of course, the heavy swing will break guard and the first light attack will connect, but the second can be blocked. Right Skull Crusher can be performed by first attacking and then holding the attack button down. This is a light attack followed by a heavy that will break guard. Left Skull Crusher can be performed by pressing twice and then holding the attack button down. Again, the final attack in this combo is a heavy. Whirlwind Slash can be performed by pressing 3 times and then holding the attack button down. The final attack of this combo is a heavy and then a light, so the final attack will always connect. Finally, we have Distance Stab, which can be performed by attacking whilst dodging or sprinting. The first attack will break block and the follow-up will always connect. We had a few 1v1s with one another, and ultimately the combat knife would consistently fall short of winning the fight if it didn't have a significant lead in attacking first. I would honestly say the combat knife is currently the worst melee option due to its low damage output and lack of consistent heavy attacks outside of Right Skull Crusher. Moving on to the Chainsword, we have the following combos. Light combo can be performed by pressing the attack button 4 times, or again just spamming. This combo has no heavy attacks and will not break guard. Quick Punch can be performed by holding the attack button down whilst either not sprinting or dodging. This is a simple attack that does break guard. Front Kick can be performed by attacking and then holding the attack button down. This is a great combo for dealing with bulwarks. Similar to the combat knife's Right Skull Crusher, it has very consistent heavy attacks to break block. Shoulder Bash can be performed by pressing the attack button twice and then holding it down. This is similar to Front Kick but offers 2 light attacks before the heavy. This does have more range than Front Kick and is mostly situational. Whirl Slash can be performed by holding the attack button down whilst either dodging or sprinting. This is a great attack to open as it is a heavy attack that will break guard. Stomp can be performed by attacking 3 times and then holding the attack button down. Naturally, only the last attack in this combo is considered a heavy. The final attack does have some area of effect, but as we can see, both the blocked and unblocked damage is lackluster for how long this attack takes to perform. Next we have the Powersword, definitely the most technical weapon of them all, with the most to cover. For the Powersword we have the following combos. We can switch our fighting style from Power Stance to Speed Stance by holding the attack button down whilst not dodging. Power Stance can be identified by the sword having a brighter glow, and thus Speed Stance can be identified by the sword having a dull glow. The Speed Style combo can be performed by pressing the attack button down 4 times. This can only be performed in Speed Stance and it offers no heavy attacks. Power Style combo can be performed by pressing the attack button 3 times. This can only be performed in Power Stance. The first attack is a heavy, which secures our second attack's damage, and the third can be blocked. Whirl Slash can be performed by dashing and holding the attack button down whilst in the Speed Stance. This attack is great for opening up with. The actual attack itself will transition us from Speed Stance into Power Stance, meaning the damage is greater and we don't need to manually switch. Air Thrust can be performed by dashing and holding the attack button down whilst in Power Stance. This has great range and also simultaneously changes our stance to speed. Be aware of this when using it to chase opponents. Power Rate can be performed by holding the attack button down at any point of any of our combos. It can be performed in any stance and naturally has more effectiveness in power. Power World can be performed by attacking and then waiting a brief moment before attacking again. It's important we don't enter in any other prompts between both of these attacks, as doing so will cancel our opportunity to perform Power World. Both attacks in this combo will stagger and or ignore any block. It's very, very strong. There is something to be said for the timing. We can activate this combo just before the sword glows behind our marine, making it a very effective attack that can be thrown out quite quickly. We engaged in some more 1v1s and we found that the Powersword can lose to the Chainsword if it doesn't get much of a lead with attacking first. In Power Stance we had more effectiveness, but ultimately it seemed that Power Whirl was the way to go for the most melee success. It's very hard to get away from if we've already engaged, as it can't be blocked. Provided we have enough health, then Power Whirl will almost always be a sure bet. As for the Thunderhammer, a solid competitor for the Powersword but with far less technicality, we have the following combos. Light combo can be performed by pressing the attack button as many times as we like. This combo can be used infinitely, and the description suggests that a charged heavy attack after any amount of light attack should increase the damage of the charged attack based on how many light attacks were dished out before it was activated. However, it doesn't seem to be much of a mechanic within the PvP itself. Ground Slam can be performed by first pressing the attack button and then holding it down. The second attack of this combo is considered a heavy that will not only stagger the enemy but will also damage through a block. Pommel Smash can be performed by holding the attack button down whilst either dodging or sprinting. This attack is a heavy and will break through a block. Aftershock can be performed by holding down the attack button. This attack ignores all blocking and all damage will penetrate through. We ran some 1v1s afterwards and found that despite seeming slow, the hammer is pretty adequate at general 1v1s and overall rivals the Powersword quite well in terms of effectiveness. Finally, we have the Powerfist. This weapon is currently broken, which we will get into right now. Basically, the charged attacks are broken. Instead of having a scale of damage dealt depending on how much the attack is being charged, it instead deals max damage regardless, meaning we can one-hit enemies very quickly. There is no counter in the melee sense. If we have enough health, then we can just slightly charge a heavy attack and trade with any enemy in melee with very little issue. Due to this, a number of the combos are impossible to perform on any single target because they die long before the combo can be completed. It's pretty badly broken and will likely be fixed in the near future. I'm hoping to revisit it soon so we can dive into the actual weapon and figure out how effective it actually is. But for the meantime, have at it, I guess. That's it for this one, folks. A huge thank you and a shout out to Devis for helping me with this video. Catch me again in part 2, where we will be comparing weapons against one another and seeing the practicalities of each one in a PvP environment. I have a range of content I'm working on, so feel free to check out the channel. And until next time, peace.